Hello and once again fellow Mobile Legends peeps, welcome back, and you might be here again because you saved some battle points or are saving battle points to buy a new hero. And today is the day that a new hero will be released in the original server. So why don't we talk about that, all the spicy details in this hero review. So like you've seen in game, they have been advertising the release of a new support hero by the name of Carmilla, the Shadow of Twilight. That slit is too dang high, and I like it. So Carmilla is a support, a vampire, a woman forced into a fixed marriage, killed herself, found a vampire boyfriend, left that boyfriend in the advanced server, and now she's here in the original server. And since you are also here right now, let's talk about the good things and the bad things about Carmilla, so that maybe by the end of this video, you'll have an idea if she's the hero you want to throw your battle points at. And again, just like any previous hero reviews that I've done, please do not treat this as a guide, for I can only talk about my personal experience playing her in the advanced server before her release, and I am only here to help you decide if you want to get her or not. But seriously, can you really refuse a hero with this kind of looks? Come on. Let's talk about Carmilla's skills, and we're gonna start with her passive. So her passive says that she can steal 10 to 20 points of armor and magic resist from any enemy she damages. And this can stack up to 5 times, as shown by this classy Batman stack marker above her head. And this only lasts for 5 seconds from the last time you sucked the enemy's defense. So stealing armor and magic defense can be done with basic attacks or skills, but it can only work on heroes. Another thing about it is it can only steal defense from a specific hero every 5 seconds. So it's either you need to hit 5 different heroes to fill up the bar, or you can do it with 2 enemies if you switch between attacking them every 5 seconds. This passive's pretty amazing, I guess. It helps you take some hits during team fights, with it increasing your defenses while also letting your team deal more damage to enemies since you steal their physical and magic defense. And I don't see anything wrong with this skill aside from you getting forced to hit different enemies with your skills or attacks to max out the stacks. And the very short duration of 5 seconds before the passive disappears is pretty lackluster, since this passive in reality can only work if you're fighting heroes. Carmilla's skill 1 is this spinning vampire flowers around her that slaps enemies, dealing magic damage and slows down their movement speed. At 40% cooldown and max level, you can almost always keep this skill up. It has a very short cooldown and a very long duration. You can run alongside an enemy and these flowers will deal the same damage with every hit. So unlike other multi-hit skills, the damage does not decay. And also, hitting the enemy with this skill will speed up the rotation of the flowers, so you deal more damage if you're able to keep hitting the same enemy over and over. Another effect of this skill is to sustain your HP, or like lifesteal or spell vamp effect. Every time one of your flowers hit an enemy, you gain back HP even without building spell vamp items. Hitting multiple enemies will speed up the healing because the heal is per damage that you deal, or per hit of these flowers on each enemy. So it's very useful in crowded team fights if you wanna semi-tank and be in the middle of the battle. This skill not only damages your enemies, but it also slows them down, speeds you up, heals your HP, reduces the defense, and increases yours through the activation of your passive, and it looks pretty. It has everything, dude. The only bad thing I see about this is the short range. You would have to be in a very close range and would definitely take some damage as well if you plan on slapping enemies with your flowers. But that is fine, because you're a support hero, you're supposed to take damage for your core hero allies, right? So good job. And getting close to your enemies shouldn't be a problem, since this skill will give you a speed boost and also another speed boost from your second skill. And we'll talk about that right now. So when you press your skill 2, Carmilla floats around like Kimmy with this giant flower under her skirt, and it speeds you up by a whopping 60%. So yes, this is like a built-in free sprint. Wow. But the good thing doesn't stop there. You can activate the skill a second time and auto-target on an enemy in range to deal damage and stun them. Just like the stun skill of Hylos, you can't miss with this skill. And the bar you see under her is similar to Bane's spit skill. If you wait for it to turn red, you will deal more damage, and the longer your stun duration will be on the target you hit. So it's a pretty good skill. You can combine the movement speed with skill 1 by activating both skills shots at the same time, making you glide around the map really fast. Helps you with roaming and assisting your team from around the map. It makes your ganking and ambush capabilities very effective since you can get close to the enemy real fast and you can't miss your stun when you get them in your range. The speed boost also helps you get away from teamfights if you're taking too much damage or if you want to chase down a low HP escaping enemy. At 40% cooldown and max level, this skill should only have around 5 seconds of cooldown. So not too long, but it's still not that spammable. The only negative I see with this skill is the short range it has. So again, just like with skill 1, you gotta take advantage of the speed boost built in your skills to get your enemies in range and then stun them, which will in turn will also get you in the enemy's range, and that will make you prone to taking damage, getting bursted, getting stunned yourself. And also, this skill only works on heroes and jungle monsters, so it doesn't really help with clearing minions at all. Carmilla's skill 3 is a short-range skill shot that deals magic damage and slows down the enemy by 90% for 5 seconds. While the curse is in effect on 2 or 3 enemies, any damage done on any of the enemies who are linked are spread out to the other cursed enemies who are also in the link. Like for example here, this Layla is taking damage. The other ones also take some damage as well, although only 70% of the original damage. Stuns and slows also spread out into the linked enemies, but the second and third target only takes 50% of the original stun duration. From the examples we have seen, or I've shown you, it looks like a pretty balanced skill, right? But this skill, when used right, will actually deal more damage than it should. Remember that any damage done to any one of the 3 targets that you have linked will spread out to the other 2, right? If they all take damage at the same time, like if they get hit by an area damaging skill from one of your allies or from you, they all take the original damage, the initial damage from the skill, and each of them will also send 70% of the damage they take on the other 2. So this means that this ultimate will be more useful or can amplify the damage done by allies if their skills can hit multiple targets. So in this example I'm showing you right now, all the Laylas are getting hit with the flowers and all of them taking the original damage, 100% damage, and all of them also receive 70% damage from one of the other Laylas. So they take insane amounts of multiple damage. The only bad thing I found about this ult is that it's a skill shot, so you can miss or enemies can dodge it. And if you only have one target, or when you're trying to gank early game, a lone hero in a side lane for example, this ult can only do damage and slow, just like a non-ultimate skill. And that is because you don't have additional targets to curse, right? But that's better than nothing, I guess. Or maybe save this ult when there are 2 or more enemies to fight. And that is it about her skills. Now, what about her gameplay or how she feels when I played her? She's actually an amazing support. I found myself having an easy time going around the map. It was easy to keep up with the ally I'm supporting. It was easy to go to team fights, be there at the right time. I'm able to tank jungle monsters very easily without losing much HP because of my sustain with skill 1. I deal enough damage to make the jungling faster. I also felt like I was helping and clearing waves faster as well. Any enemy heroes that me and my teammate encountered only got met with a stun from my skill 2. The ganks are also flawless since all I gotta do is run up to the enemy from bushes and press skill 2 and they'll be locked in place for my allies to burst or kill. I also felt that I wasn't losing any mana at all, and her skills are pretty spammable for most of the game, so low cost mana and low cooldown. Landing her ultimate was pretty challenging at first because it's a skill shot and the range is kinda crap, but with practice and also in team fights, your hit rate should increase since there are more targets to hit. Or you can just use your mobility to shotgun that ult on the enemy's face for a sure hit. And compared to other supports, what her ult brings to the table is that possibility of amplifying that game-changing area effect damage skill that your ally might have, whether it's to increase the damage that they deal through the curse links, or if you just want to spread out the stun effect or the CC built in with your ally's skills. If it's a marksman you're supporting, no problem. It is also great since you spread out the cancerous single target crits and basic attacks that they do. Overall, if used properly, I believe she can rise to the S-class level of support. and might be even better than other supports right now. She has no dash, but she's super mobile with her movement speed. She has the sustain and tankiness, makes your team do more damage to enemies, and she has a low cooldown stun that can stop enemies from getting to your backliners or to use for effective ganks and stopping enemies from escaping if you're chasing someone. So in short, she has everything, bro. I also tried her out as a mage, and she's pretty decent. Early game, you have this advantage of movement speed, damage, tankiness, because that's just how her skills work, but I don't think she'll be replacing the current strong mages in the meta right now. Yes, she may have the damage, the movement speed to get into the faces of the enemy, which she needs because of the lack of the range of her skills. But in team fights where there are multiple skills and attacks flying around to hit you, especially those fed marksman late game where the cancerous crits, playing her as a core hero for your team will just get you killed. And again, because of that need to be in the middle of the team fight if you want to hit your enemies with your skills. So playing her as support might be the better choice, because she's a support, right? And that is it, guys. This is another hero that I would have to give a rating that I have given before, a waifu out of 5. So I hope this helped you out. Comment down your thoughts on this new hero Carmilla, or if you're gonna let her suck your diamonds or battle points dry. Additional tips for our community is also much appreciated, so feel free to type that out. And again, my name is ShinmenTakezo. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!